Hey, this is Captain Matt. I want to introduce you to our latest project. So, building the Explorer, what's that all about? Well, down here in South Florida, a lot of people are starting to do saltwater kayak fishing. This is something that I guess has been building up about the past 4 or 5 years. And talking to a lot of the people that were doing it, one of their biggest complaints was that they had to paddle so far to get to the fishing grounds. And then, of course, once you paddle, you got to paddle back. Fortunate enough that we're able to go to ICAST every year. If you don't know what ICAST is a giant expo show, per se, where all the manufacturers bring out all their new stuff that they're going to be selling for the following year. It's a place where you have the opportunity to go there and do a lot of pre-purchasing stuff to fill your shop up the following year. So we went to ICAST and we ran into a brand new company called Bonafide Kayaks. Bonafide Kayaks were building a kayak specifically for fishing. So we went ahead and we took a look at them, and we were impressed with what they were building. Now, these were just prototypes at the time. They actually hadn't built a product yet. And we liked what we seen, and I left ICAST the proud owner of 6 kayaks. Next, we had to find a boat. Well, what do you need a boat for? You see, the boat was the big part of our plan. What our plan was to have a boat that we could carry kayaks on, along with the kayakers, take you out to places that you can't really paddle to very easily. You know, one of the big problems with kayaks, with boating in general, fishing in general, is that there's not a lot of public access. People own property on the water, and they don't want people in their backyard. You know, you can't blame them, but it's just unfortunately the way it is. So what our goal was to be able to put the people and the kayaks on the boat, take the boat out, and wherever we were going, whether we were going in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, or if we were going to take you someplace where you could go back into the mangroves, or maybe we were going to take you out onto a flat. You can go fish the flat on the kayaks. Our goal was to be able to take you out, put you in the water, let you go ahead and fish, keep the boat there as a support boat, so if something ever happened, we're still right there. We can tie your fishing lines, take the fish off your hook, whatever you need. We had the kayaks, we needed a boat. So we started looking into the design of the boat that we wanted. You can't just go to the boat store and say, hey, give me a Kayak Mothership. They don't make them. You got to build it yourself. So we were able to find a boat that we were looking for. It's a catamaran style fiberglass hull single engine boat. It's 24 foot long, 8.5 feet wide. Unfortunately, with all my research, I was only able to find 3 of them. To this day, I've only seen 3 of these boats for sale. They were only made for about 4 years. The original boat was built by Tracker in the mid-90s. So we found this boat, and it was 2.5 hours away. We had to go up there and get it. So we got it, brought it back to the house. You know, this was the first boat that we actually had a chance to even see in person. Most of the other ones we had just seen, you know, some pictures and people were selling them. So we got the boat, loaded it up, drove it 2.5 hours. The trailer made it. I don't know how it made it, but it made it 2.5 hours. And we got it home. So once we got it home, we were able to go ahead and really take a look at what it is that we bought. And you can see in this video, this is actually after we had emptied out the furniture, if you want to call it that, that was on here. It's kind of a neat layout because it's a fiberglass hull, but on top it was really built like a pontoon boat. So you can see basically how it was laid out. There was some damage that we noticed to the hull, and that was in the very front. Mostly that was from being bashed up against the trailer, and it had actually delaminated the plywood from the hull itself. So we knew we had some work there. There was very little rot that we found in this boat, which is really amazing because it's 20 some odd years old and had carpet on it, and it was, from what I could tell, it was never covered. The furniture was trashed. That all went straight into the dumpster. So as we first took a look and we've seen what we actually bought here, the boat was pretty solid overall. And we decided early on that what we were going to do is go ahead and, at a minimum, we were going to strip everything down to the bare wood, fix some of the rot that we had found. Like I said, it was very, very minimal. And we were going to go ahead and put new carpet down, put the sides back on, and we were going to go. As we started looking into the boat, we realized that there was no information on this boat at all. We did all kinds of searches on Google. We couldn't find any information on this boat. So we had no idea what was underneath the plywood. So we made the decision, let's go ahead and strip this plywood off. We're going to do a hull up restoration on this boat. So that's where we're at right now. We got all the sides down. We pulled the carpet off. And the amazing thing about this boat is when you look at it from the side, boy, I'll tell you what, if I didn't already own those kayaks, I would have just put a center console on this thing and a short tower, and I would have had a heck of a flats boat. I mean, this thing is a sweet looking hull. But kayaks are coming, so we have to we got to get this project on the road. Like with everything else, this is something that I was looking to do pretty much in my spare time. I wasn't looking to set aside a certain amount of time to go ahead and get this whole thing done. I figured I could just do it bits and pieces as I went along. Maybe I'd get some help. Maybe not. So we went ahead, we started the project. We got it back to where we were going to start actually doing work on it, and life happened. So we had a hurricane that delayed us. Two of my daughters got married. That delayed us. And I had a granddaughter. So that delayed us as well. So we did get kind of, had a few setbacks as we went into this project. But we originally were not going to film this. That's not what we set out to do. What we set out to do is record stuff so that we could remember how things went back together. So we took a lot of pictures and we started to take the video. Early on, I realized that there's no information on this boat at all. So let me go ahead and record this so that if somebody ever buys one of these boats and has a question about, how's this thing made, they can actually get in there and see what's involved. So that's the goal of this whole series, and it's going to be a series. There's going to be a lot of videos. I'll tell you, I'm not a boat rebuilder. I've done some repairs before in the past. You could say I know enough to get myself in trouble, and I got myself in trouble, and I got out of it. So if you want to learn how to make the mistakes and how not to make the mistakes, this might be a good series for you, because we're going to do plywood, we're going to do fiberglass, we're going to do gel coat, we're going to put some C-deck on this thing, we're going to have no skid on this. As far as the motor goes, right now it has a 135. It's a 1986 135 Mercury, which runs. Like I said, I literally took this thing home, put it in the driveway, and started taking it apart. So I never really even took the boat out and seen what it could do. But the motor did seem like it ran pretty strong when we took it off. So we're going to put that motor back on for now. Like I said, it's an 86 two-stroke, so they're loud and smoky, and it's a neat motor if you just want to take yourself out and go run a thing. The problem is, we're looking to do excursions on this thing, where we're going to take families out and do like an eco tour kind of thing. So people are going to have questions, and I'm not going to hear the questions, and they're not going to hear the answers. So we're going to probably end up putting a new motor on this boat at some point. The trailer needs a lot of work, so we're going to go into all of that. Putting brakes. I know it needs brakes. I know it needs wiring. So we got a lot of work ahead of us, and I hope you decide to like the video and definitely subscribe, because you'll get all the videos. We're going to try to do this in a once a week kind of series, and we'll see how that works out. But like I said, we've had some delays. We've kept it going. Really at this point in time, most people would have sold the boat and just got rid of it because it just was taking too much time. And my wife hasn't divorced me yet, so we're still going. And let you see the finished product when we're done. Okay, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video when we really start tearing this thing apart. Thanks.